What's up my loves? My name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be doing my May TBR. So in the month of May, I am going to be shaking out my TBRs just a little major bit. So I would like to talk through the Cluedo board and then we'll come back and talk through the TBR and where it's gonna go. Hello my loves, so welcome to talking through Cluedo from last month. Let's go over what I have and haven't read. So we started in the billiard room and the first prompt I got was coming of age. And for that, I read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And then I got romance. And for that, I read Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios. So I can reveal these two cards. The first is the dining room. And the second is the knife. Ooh. Okay. And then for the library, I had the dining room. And for that, I read The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And then I had Blind Pick. And for that, I got Crown Breaker by Sebastian de Castell. And I have read this. So, I can reveal these two cards. The first is the revolver. And the second is the kitchen. With that, I can mark those off. And it was kitchen. So, for this round, my official guest that is in here is Mr. Green with the candlestick in the library. So we have the candlestick, the library, and Mr. Green. Yay! So I won this round and have completed it in its entirety. So there is one last thing I need to do. So I need to pick out a prize. I have no idea what's in here anymore, so we shall see. I'm very curious. I can't remember what I was vibing when I created these. So where's the, there it is. All right. So this reward is, oh cute! I like that.
What's it?
I get to go on an op shop trip. So I can just go around and have a look at all the different op shops near me and just enjoy a little adventure.
Yay!
That's cute. Alright, now back to sit down page. Bye! So as you saw, I completed this round of Cluedo, and with that have concluded Cluedo for the next little while. I put out a video recently that was the books that I would like to buddy read, and the reception that I have had on that is amazing, and I'm so happy that I will be able to buddy read all these different things with everyone. But in saying that, there are a few months that have been rather full. I've tried to sort of space it out, so apologies for anyone that I was like, I can do this in August. It was just that the overwhelming response was amazing, and then things matched up to different goals that I was trying to achieve, so it's all sort of worked out the way that it has. But in saying that, I have a lot of pre-selected books for my TBR for the foreseeable future. And so I don't want to risk including Cluedo prompts and trying to make that all fit when I don't know if it would, because it is so up to chance. Obviously people can doctor their TBR games and just pull prompts until they get one that they're happy with, but I prefer to keep it as authentic as possible, and so I've just made the decision that I will just pick my TBRs. There will be different vlogs and it might come back throughout this year. I'm not 100% sure. It just depends on how the cookies crumble and what I'm up to, what have been pre-assigned, and if there are any ideas that I would like to do throughout the month, because I have a few that I haven't been able to do because it's just not feasible with my TBR game, and that's totally fine. I am not burnt out on Cluedo at all. If anything, I have been sitting here going, do I just do this? This is my second time filming this section because I filmed it last night and I just wasn't happy with how it turned out, and I forgot to do 2 books, so I was like, oh fuck it, let's just redo it. So I've been sitting on it and going, do I just film Cluedo rolls and see what we get, and if it goes tits up, it goes tits up. But then I looked at everything that I would like to read and or fulfills goals, and it is 5,100 pages or so. And so I just said, no, let's not risk that biscuit. Let's just do this TBR. So yeah, hopefully there will be different ideas coming out from these TBR videos, and or have enough flexibility that I can still pick randomly, because I like leaving my TBRs to chance. I enjoy having some other direction than just like, this is the list of books that I want to read. But given that it is so voluminous, I've decided to focus on continuations of series, because that was a lot of buddy reads, as well as making some progress for my character for Gerbenathon, which is one of my goals. And I've managed to work a lot of things to fit quite nicely for that. I'm gonna jump back to last night, so that angle will be slightly different, but I'll be still in the same shirt because accurate. And Ash and I will pick our big books, and then we will talk through the TBR. So, see you shortly. I picked A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the book that I'm currently up to in the series, so A Conjuring of Light will go back in, and then I can re-pull that to get that one out. So I'm very excited to continue on with this series. I was actually this close to putting it on my self-destruct for this coming round, so I'm gonna get to know that a lot sooner, and I'm very excited by it. I'm keen to just be able to dive back into the series and see where it goes, and hopefully continue on and finish it off. So leading on to that, the next book is a sequel that has not been selected by myself, and that is my book called Revisited book. So we had Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Hunting Prince Dracula, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Technically the first one, A Curse So Dark and Lonely. So remembering it off the top of my head, so this might not be 100% accurate, I just know which one's right. There was 2 votes for A Heart So Fierce and Broken, 3 votes for Truth Witch, 5 votes for Wind Witch, and the one that won with 6 votes was Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. So I'm going to continue on with the series, and I'm really excited because I really enjoy the character dynamic between Audrey and Thomas, and I would like to see how this shapes up when they travel to Romania. And I don't know, just something about this series really appeals to me. The first one was a whole lot of fun, and I feel like it's going to be not necessarily a light read, but a quick read and a bit of a palate cleanser. And I just really enjoy their writing and seeing what adventures they get up to. Audrey wants to be the person that cuts up bodies, and because she's a female, it's looked down upon in the time period that they're in. So there's a whole lot of different dynamics and discussions happening, and I really enjoyed the first one, so yay! Alright, then let's go into read-alongs that I'm participating in. The first is The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. This is for BookStara, which is created and run by Amy from A Star Reads, Danielle from BookStara, and myself, and this is the book that we're up to in May, and I'm so excited. Hearing their discussion about the bone season has just reignited my excitement to read it, and I'm so keen. I'm so beyond keen to pick this up. I think it's going to be fabulous, and I'm here for it. I'm ready, I'm locked and loaded, and this is following Paige. The first one definitely goes in a direction that I wasn't expecting, so I don't really want to say too much about this, but the world, there are clairvoyants and they are illegal, and so there is a lot of political machinations going on between all the different people, and it's just wonderful. So I'm very curious to see how this one shapes up, and we will be continuing on with the bone season. The other read-along that I'm participating in this year is the Earth Children's read-along, which is created by Sierra from Sierra the Book Addict, and for this month we are reading The Mammoth Hunters by Gina M. Ooh, these are chunky beasties with very limited margins. But I really enjoyed the second one. It went in a direction that, again, I wasn't expecting, and there was a lot more smut than I anticipated, which, you know, how it goes. And I really enjoy seeing the different ways of living. I just really enjoy being able to talk and see how this society was constructed, and just their different attributes and the way that they approached challenges and things that I take for granted and the strategies that they had in place to help with that. So continuing on, this is book 3. The last read along that I have is the Don't Forget Your Towel Along, which is reading the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series by Douglas Adams. And so for this one we need to read the 5th one, which is Mostly Harmless. And I really don't know what this actually involves, if it's continuing on from the past 4. We're following Arthur Dent, who is from Earth, and he goes on space adventures. I am an hour into the 4th one at the time of filming, so I'll see how that all shapes up. But it initially, when I first started reading it, wasn't my kind of humor, but I'm starting to appreciate it a lot more and just having a lot more fun with the series, which is nice. So we'll be able to continue on and read the 5th one. And if we want to talk about read-alongs, I am doing a solo read-along of the Animorphs series, so I need to read the next 3, which is book 48, 49 and 50. We're so close. We're nearing the end. I am so excited to see how this all shapes up. I feel like 48's going to not be great, and then from there we should be smooth sailing till the end. So very curious to see how that all plays into finale and just where we're going, because things have been going down, but based off the cover of 48 I'm concerned. So I'm very excited to finish off the series, but we've still got a little way to go. Then I have series continuations that are buddy reads, not part of an actual read along. The first I am reading with Amber and Lisbeth, and this is Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is on my self-destruct list for ending in June, midway through June I think, so I needed to read it before then if I did want to keep this and not unhaul the entire series. So we'll see how I get along with it. I loved the first one when I first read it, and I'm so nervous about continuing on with the series because I don't know how it's going to hold up, if it is going to hold up. I feel like it's probably not, so we'll see. I hope that I enjoy it, at least in the form of like trashy enjoy it. I don't know. I'm glad that I'm gonna have support while reading this. And then my last buddy read that is a sequel is with Kirsty from K Beth Bookish, and this is Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. This is the second in the Celestial Kingdom series, the first being Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and I'm really curious to see where this goes. I feel like it could be one of those that goes in a very different direction to what I was expecting, but I'm excited to be able to read it with Kirsty and just have a good old time chatting about it and finish off a duology, which is very important in being able to actually accomplish my goals this year. Considering these are all literally the second or third book in an ongoing series for all the other ones, so it's nice to actually have a conclusion in sight, and I'm very excited to read this and just see where it shapes up. I'm really struggling to remember Daughter of the Moon Goddess, but I know that I enjoyed it, and I feel like it's going to be one of those that I'll fall easily back into the story with. It would just take a minute to hook back in. It's going to be a good time. So these are my mandatories with the Animorphs and Mostly Harmless, but of course why would I end there? So normally that would be a pretty decent TBR stack, and I might keep it at that, but I do have some series continuations that I would like to read for Gerbedathon, which is created by Hannah from the Letter M, and this is a year-long challenge. So I know that I have time. I know I don't have to push myself for completing, oh sorry, it's my students' needs, not adults. I know that I have a lot of time to be able to complete the students and the adults, which are like the 2 major chunks, and the fact that I'm a significant way through the students and it's only going into May, I feel like I've done pretty good. So if these end up falling by the wayside for other things, that's okay, but I would really like to get to them. So the first one actually is also slightly mandatory because it is for the buzzword challenge for this month, which is a flavor, and that's Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. I'm adding this to the mandatory stack actually, now that I think about it, because I am trying to achieve the buzzword challenge. I'm not necessarily needing to read it in the month that it is, but I have managed to so far, so I would like to keep that going. And I was struggling with this, like the prompt is flavor, and I was like, contemplating like arguing that a heart is a flavor because you can eat a heart. And then I was going through the things that I needed for Go-Bit-a-thon and saw Before the Coffee Gets Cold for magical realism. I was like, coffee, coffee, coffee! And I got so excited, and I was so sad that Ash wasn't home because I was just yelling coffee over and over again, realizing that coffee is a flavor. I forgot to mention that this is by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and this is the second in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. Oh, there's a map of characters. Oh, that would have worked well for a book that has a map. So I adored the first one and very keen to continue on with the rest of the series. Then I needed to read a thriller. I've decided to focus on that for this month because it is another continuation of series, and that is Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris. This is the last in the Hannibal Lecter series, and I'm so fucking nervous for it. Because this is following Hannibal and getting their backstory. And from what I've heard, this was not necessary. It ruins things, and I'm so apprehensive. So we're gonna give it a go. If I don't like it, I can always DNF it. She says that she's never DNF'd anything in her goddamn life. But it's there, it's a thing that exists, and I can just see how I get on with it. It is shorter than the last one that I read, so I don't know. I'm very curious as to how this all shapes up. At last, the evolution of his evil is revealed. I don't know, I'm nervous. And then the final one was to read a steamy romance. And I have not done overly well in reading the things that have come into my collection this year. I'm still doing okay because I've bought a lot of things or been gifted a lot of things that I've already read. So that's keeping my percentage a happy chappy. But one of those things is Radiant Sin by Katie Robert, which is the 4th in the Dark Olympus series. And I adore Katie Robert. I'm a hoe for her. We know this. She can do no wrong by me. Just fills me with joy having this in my hands, and I am ready to read it. So I figured, why the fuck not put it on? It only came out last month. Sorry, I've got a cold, so face is very red. I'm excited to get some Cassandra and Apollo in here. I don't know how their story is going to progress, what's the main point of it, not sure. I just know that I'm here for it and ready. This is like, I sort of want to say mafia romances with titles of the gods, which has a sprinkling of magic in it, but it's not like fantasy. And it's just a really fun series. I know that Katie Roberts not going to be for everyone, but she totally is for me, and I am fine with that. Olympus is like the place that they live, and you've got the 13 that are the powerful rulers of Olympus, but they're not actually like descendants of the Greek gods. They're just the name tokens in those positions. So I find it interesting. I also find it really smutty, and I like the smut that she writes. Can't be a me video without forgetting a fucking book. At least I haven't moved my camera yet. I will also be reading The Malevolent 7 by Sebastian de Castell. I have an arc from NetGalley, and this does publish in May, so I would like to get to it ASAP. This will be probably done within the first 2 weeks of the month, as I can either wait until the audiobook comes out or just dive in. I'm very excited to read a new Sebastian de Castell after finishing off the Spellslinger series. I do have the Greycoats and the Way of the Agosi series as well to continue on with, so I'm not going to be left astray, but I did get an e-arc and would like to read it. So that's on the TBR as well. I don't know if this is the first in a series or if it's going to be a standalone. I'm keen to pick it up, so that is also on the list. So this plus 3 Animorphs and the Mostly Harmless is what I'm going to be reading for May. I'm really sorry about ditching and Cluedo for the moment, but hopefully I will be able to get into a swing of things and figure something out and or provide decent alternatives. Like, I'd like to do another round of 1 week 1 shelf that doesn't have like strict need to reads TBR on top of it. I would like to just randomly generate different things to pick my TBR. I've also got a few different ideas in the works, so we'll see. I am also decided that I'm going to fluctuate between 1 to 2 videos a week, depending on what's available and any ideas that I have. So if there is a vlog that can go out, then it can go out, or if it's just that one video that I've thought of, then cool. I found after taking the 2 weeks off in April that I liked having time for other hobbies. And I spent most of it reading and being able to complete my magical readathon because I would like to. But it was nice knowing that I had more time up my sleeve, and I feel like whilst I love doing booktube and I don't want to stop, the ideas aren't as prominent, or they're long-term sort of videos that just might take a little minute more. So, or I can't do it like that month because of my reading. Like, I have other things in the works, and just not having that restriction to be able to achieve all the different goals that I've got myself for this year and have all those buddy reads. So let me know in the comments what you're excited to pick up in May. Are you participating in any readathons? I am participating in Witchathon, so I just have to figure out how to make these work. And yeah, let me know anything else you want to let me know down below. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video.